Okay, so this here that I have up here first is just an example, and it shows you the difference that warping something can make. So on the left-hand side, obviously the word wild is not warped, but on the right-hand side, you can see that it is warped, and look at the difference. Just doing that makes it look so much more interesting, I think, to have it warped a little bit or a little different. So the first thing, let me get rid of this one, hit delete. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you or refresh your memory if you've been here before. I'll show you how to do the warp the easy way. So what I'd like you to do on your computer, if you're able to, is just come over to the left-hand side where it's the text tool. Click on that, and then come over into your mat and type in the word, your last name. Or maybe your first name. I'll do my first name. And you do whatever you want, first or last. Type in yours on your mat. Okay, and once you have that typed in, notice as long as the green box is around here, it's text that we can edit. We're going to click off of that for a minute. And then I'm going to come way over here to the panel for the text style panel. Click on that, and probably all of you have impact on your computer as one of your options. So change your text to impact. Okay, but first, before that works, you have to have your name selected. All right, there we go. All right, so now I have that done, and I'm just going to click back on. I'm going to make it big. And let's see. I'm going to go, wait 1 second. I'm trying to see one thing. I hear somebody's tapping of their computer screen or computer keyboard. Is that you, Tammy?
No, I just went ahead and muted some more people. And if you can unmute yourself, send me a chat message and I'll unmute you when you need to, because I had to mute you. Because I can hear that background noise too.
Okay. So we got my name here. Hopefully you have your name somewhere. And what you're going to do is come down here to the lower right-hand side. It's actually hidden on my screen, and it may be hidden on yours as well. Let me move some of this junk out of the way so I can see. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is come down here on the lower right-hand side, click on this button that's like a little triangle, and it's going to let some more panels come shooting out to the left. There they are. And the one we want today to work on is the warp panel that looks like a rectangle that's all warped looking. So click on that, and it opens up this little panel. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up here, and since I have my name selected, I'm going to say warp selected shapes. So it's going to allow me to warp this, and we'll use these nodes and things again in a little bit to warp this to be an exact shape we want it to be. But right now I want to show you the easy way to use this, and that's to come over to the second button from the left here, the one that says ABCs, and you're going to click on that, and then choose one of these. Well, first just choose the first one and see what happens when you click on that to your name. Look how that does that automatically. It makes it like that. Now if you click on any of these boxes, like I'm clicking on the orange box below the letter P and stretch it down, I can make this stretch like that and stretch this one up. I can make this go skinnier. I could just make this go crazy however I want. And what I want to do though is I don't like that one, let's say. So all I have to do is click right here where it says Restore Original Shapes, and that will do that. And it goes back to the way it was to begin with. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just try another one of these. Here we go. Well, look at that. That one always kind of reminds me of, I think, the way the Star Wars text looked when it was going off the screen when the big movie was on. I think that was it. But anyway, you could have your text like that, or restore it again, click on it and restore it and go to this one. This is one of my favorite ones for some reason. You can just make it look like this. And it kind of looks like it's coming towards you, then going back away. And I'm not even sure if I click on this, I might just be able to go to another one to try it. Yeah. So just go through a few of these with your name and try them to see what you can do. I don't know what, make sure I keep track of it. Yep, it is cool, Barbara. I love it too. It's so easy.
Can you do that for initials?
Oh, sure. Why don't you do your initials? Absolutely. I'll do my initials. I'll do 3 of them for like a monogram. My monogram. And I can click, I'll make it bigger so it's easy for us to see. And I'll do this one because I think that one's pretty cool. And of course, it's awfully big, but we don't need it to be that big. See, this one I like. There's lots that we can choose from in here, and it does it very easily. So this is kind of a cheaty way to do it. Oops, got to click on it to make sure it's clicked before you do anything. Okay, those crazy nodes you just saw there, that's what we're going to work with in a minute. Those things to make a design be exactly how we want it to be. But right now, if you find some of those, just drag some around and see what you can do. Anyway, so that's that. Let's get rid of this for right now. Kind of reminds me of the fish. I put a little triangle tail on here. All right, let's delete that. So I think I have a few things over here for us to work with. Okay, well this one's easy, and you guys know how to do this. This isn't actually warped text, but you know how to do this, and I'll just refresh your memory in case you're new, because we do have some new people here. So to warp your text like this, all you have to do is come over here to the line tools, and let's see, I'm going to draw a curve shape. It's this one that looks like a figure 8, and come over here and just draw. Oops, every time I move my mouse, drop or click my mouse, it adds another node. And when I'm done with my curve shape, all I have to do is double click, and there it is. And now I could go ahead and type warped text. Notice it's not on that line, and it won't go on that line if I do it like this. If I just click this text, so I have those squares around it, it's not going to follow that line. I can try from now till doomsday, and it won't. But if I double click on it to get it back to the text editing with the green box around it, the 4-headed arrow, as I said the other day, I think on my live, we were talking about something like this. The 4-headed arrow is kind of like the magic trick. Just drag that thing, touch it to this line, boop, and it will automatically just warp right to that line. So since some of these letters are close together, once you get it pretty close to where you want it, you might just have to go ahead and ungroup and move some letters individually. But pretty much it does pretty well. And again, as I had shown you the other day, I believe, if you don't want it to be quite on this line, like this is a shape down here, you can use this little thing that looks like a zipper, and when you move it up or down, it goes above or below the shape that you're using. So let me take this off, whoops, grab it, take it off of there, and just show you again like this. If you were wanting to put this around a circle, so I'll just hold down my shift key and make a circle. And I guess I'll make that circle be a different color. Now I can just take my text and whoops, it's going everywhere. There it's on the inside of the circle, but I want it on the outside like that. Whoops, like that. So I could put it like that, And if I wanted something underneath of it, I could hold down my Alt key, I'm thinking, when this is selected. Okay, I just have it selected with the little boxes around it. Hold down my Alt key and drag another one, and then make that into some text. And, well, now it's going to be upside down, but maybe that's what I want. Maybe I want it to be upside down like this and just have those two meet, kind of like that. And again, if I wanted to move it away from the circle a little bit, click on that one to move it, get this one back, click on the zipper for this one to move it out. Again, click on this one, move it out. Whoopsie, I moved it the wrong way. Got to find the zipper. Okay, and as I always say, you know, if you're not sure which one of these little buttons to hit, just try something and see what happens. All right, so this one, are you talking about this one, Pat? How did she get that to be so even? The sample? I'm not sure. I noticed that the line is very smooth curve. So let's try that. Y'all try it if you have your screen available to you right now. I'm going to try this again. So wait, I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to do that back. All right, so I'm going to draw a curve. The first thing they did was they went like this a little bit. And again, I'm making mine probably too curvy. All right, so I double clicked at the end, and then I typed in the word warped text again. And let's see, I'm going to change this font from what it is to Arial or something a little less bulky. Come over here and maybe change it to Arial. There it is. And I might make it bold Arial. All right, now let's see what happens this time. I have no idea, so let's try this and see. All right, so that one's a little bit better. And again, what the person may have done, looks pretty good actually, but what they may have done was just use some of the letter spacing. Whoops, let me get it above the line. Okay, so she may have just said, right-clicked on it and said ungroup, and then she would have been able to maybe with her arrow key on her keyboard just move these apart a little bit if she needed to, whoever did that one. Okay, like that, and maybe even a little bit more. So that's all you have to do. Sometimes you do have to manipulate it a little bit by hand, but pretty much it stays nicely. That's how that works. Okay, do you have any other questions? Did that answer your question, Pat? Okay, cool. All right, so let's see what else we got hidden over here to work with. Tammy, you entered. All right. So let's look at this one here for a second and think about how we could change this. Yeah, it would be really fun for Halloween, some of these. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do for this one actually is I'm just going to come over here and get a rectangle. So get a rectangle and draw out a rectangle. Just like that. So then what I decided to do was I decided to warp this rectangle the easy way by coming over to the warp tool over here on the lower right. Click on that. And then I'm going to warp the selected shape. But wait, I want to do it like that. So I'm just going to do this. And I think it was this one. Yep, there. No, that's not what I want. Let's see. I think there's one that's shaped just like this one. So that's pretty close, but not quite. Okay, I don't see one that's perfectly like that one, so we'll just use this one. So what I'm going to do is that stays up like that. So if I take this red button right here, I can make this straight at the top, just like theirs is. So notice the word warped is pretty much straight at the top. And if I want to, I can take these. Not really. Okay, I'll just leave this one as it is. Let me hit Control Z, leave it like that. So we'll just go ahead and put the word warped in here. So what I usually like to do when I'm doing this is click on this one, and I'll come up to Object, convert it to a path, because I really don't need to manipulate this shape anymore. What I'm going to manipulate is the text. And what I usually like to do next, and this is just what I do, you can do it however you like, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come over to the Offset panel, click on the Offset panel. Oopsie, I clicked on the Emboss panel. Click on the Offset panel, and I'm going to do an internal, well, doesn't really matter. I can do an internal or offset. I'll just do an offset like that, and I'll apply. Okay, now I'm going to take this original, no, I'm not either. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this box right in here, and I'm going to bring my text, and I want my text to go all the way up to the lines here. So let me scroll in a little bit. As soon as my little, there we go. Oh, shoot. Okay, scroll in. All right, get rid of this panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out the word warped. You can type any word you want to. How about let's do thanks or something. Thank you. Let's just do thanks. I'm going to do it all in capital letters. And then what I'm going to do is I clicked off of it and then back on, so it's not editable text. I don't want it to be. And as a matter of fact, if I want to right now, I could just go ahead and say Object, convert to path, so it will not be editable text. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it all the way across and down, across like that. All right, so it's already touching at the top, and I don't remember, where's my sample I'm trying to do? Let's go out a little bit. Oh, okay, well, theirs is warped on the top and the bottom. Ours is going to be straight at the top, and it'll be warped at the bottom. So all I have to do now to warp this towards the bottom is to ungroup this text. And then each one of these letters I can manipulate individually. Now, notice there are 3 boxes underneath the T. If you only see 2 boxes, you need to make your image larger for right now. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I go in like this and then I try to click on this, well, right now it's still showing up. But if I made this small enough, it wouldn't show up very well. At least that's what I've been finding. So if I make it bigger while I'm working, I can see this extra box I want right here in the center. So I can pull this straight down here like this. And I'm actually going to pull it, and let's see. I'm going to duplicate the blue thing. Hold down my Alt, make another one. I should have done that first. And I actually don't need this probably. So all I'm doing right now is trying to make this fit. And it's okay if it goes outside a little bit because I'm going to just crop it off. So let me make the blue a different color so it's easier for you to see. All right, so now I'm going to get the H. Make sure it's up at the top, and then I'm just going to drag it down to make it bigger. And let it drag all the way down till it goes outside. The A, same thing, drag it all the way down till it goes out a little bit. And the N. Okay. And Tammy, these would be good for your sister to learn to do for her wreaths that she makes, you know, to make different colors.
Oh yeah, I'll tell her about it.
Yeah. Okay, so just like that's fine. I could make the S a little bit fatter if I want to, but that's fine just like that. Okay, so now all I have to do is I'm going to grab all of it and come over here to the Modify panel and say crop. So what that did was it cropped it out. So look at this. If I put this behind again, you'll see how neatly this works. That fits there perfectly. So if I had this shape that I was trying to fill in, and I could have this offset part right here like this now if I wanted. And I think that would be really cool. I could color this a color. I don't know if I was doing this for the fall, I might do. Or for Christmas. How about that? Christmas. Thanks. Oh, but there's another thing that you could do if you wanted to. If you were making this a print then cut. Oh, you could do it with the pre-made ones, but sometimes, Betsy, you have a shape that it doesn't fit as well for. So you can get the part of the pre-made shape and then use the little node adjustments to adjust that. But a lot of times you'll make your own shape, or you'll find a shape that the pre-made ones won't fit to. But yeah, if they fit, use them. But what we also could do is this. We could grab all of this, and rather than it having it green, I wanted to remind you about when you come up here to the paint palette up here. Click on that, and we can get a pattern just like you can in Cricut Design Space. This is the fill pattern. Click on that. These are the patterns that come with, and it's easy to add your own patterns, and I've added some for fall right here. See, what do I have? I have like leaves or acorns and different things that you could add in here instead of what I have, pumpkins. And just like in nuts, just like in Cricut Design Space, if you go to advanced options here, you can mirror things, you can do all kind of stuff, and most importantly, you can scale it. So if you want your leaves to show up more like leaves, bigger like that, you could do that. And then this would make for a nice print and cut. And you could bring this back over here and change it to a better color for fall. And that would be a cute thing to do for a design or a card or something like that. So let's change this color. What color should I make it? Anybody know? So notice when I clicked on it, the nodes came up, and I don't want them to come up because the color swatch isn't available up here. All I have to do is hit the letter V, as in victory, on my keyboard, and that makes it change to the other type of selection. And then
Just make it beige.
Beige. Okay, thanks. Beige. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be good. Just trying some different. Oh,
Yeah.
that's too plenty. Yeah. Okay. Or it could just be white. Anything. Okay. So that's that one, and it's really easy to do. Anybody have any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, I'll get rid of that one and see what's hiding over on the other side. It looks good. So I'll just delete this. Peek over here and see what we can find. Okay, here's a triangle. So what are we going to do with this? Well, it's not a very good triangle, so I'm going to make another one. But that's just to refresh my memory of what I wanted to show. So just come over here again to this line tools. And I'm just going to get the straight line this time. No, I'm not. I'm going to get this one, the draw a polygon, the second one in. And I'm going to draw a triangle, a better one, hopefully. And right here, you see there's a red dot connected underneath my mouse, and there's a red dot up above it. When I get close, they're going to just jump together. They just jump like that. See that? Jump. Boop. And if I'm done, I just double click and it's done, and it fills with whatever color is shown up here in my paint or in my color swatch area. But right now I just want it to be transparent. So click on it to select it. Come up here to the color swatch area and make it transparent. Just like that. Okay, so I can make it bigger so you can see. And once again, we'll just put a name or something in here. Maybe your husband, your son, your brother, somebody has a sports team that they like, and you can make this like a pennant or something like that. And you could get rid of the pennant in the end and just have the name of their team that they like, maybe in the shape. Although down here in the point, it's going to be a little difficult. But So I'm from Pittsburgh originally, so I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So I'm going to come over here to the text tool, get the A, or over here on the A, where the text is, and come over here and click on my mat, and then type in Steelers, all in caps. Yeah. And I guess you'd be typing in Bama or Alabama, Tammy, for your
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see. So I make it larger. Whoopsie. I was trying to look at the chat while I was stretching it, and that didn't work. All right, so there we go. Make it larger. And I don't know, you know what? Maybe if what if I put it all the way over and try to put a little teeny tiny S in there? I don't know. This is going to be a trial here, a trial and error. So let's see. So let's ungroup this. No, I don't want to do. Well, I could ungroup it and do it the same way we just did it. But let me show you the other way now. All right, so I'm going to click on it to highlight it. Then I'm going to come down here to where the little triangle is on the lower right and let this sneak on out and click on the warp. And I have the name Steelers selected. So I'm going to say warp selected shape. And it's going to put some of those little nodes or little points all around here that I can use. Personally, I don't think that's enough, and you'll learn this as you go, and you can add more by coming over here to divisions, or you can add more columns or more rows. So I'm going to add some more columns, and you see what that's doing when I add more columns? These little orange guys here are the one that I like to use to begin with a lot. And you see every time I add another column, like this is one column between this orange thing and this. This is the second column from this orange one to here. Columns going down this way. Going to add another column. Now I have 3. 1 column, 2, 3. And I think I'll add one more. Okay. So, you know, again, this is just something you'll play with yourself to see what you like to do. I'm a little bit worried about making it so big, trying to get it into the corner of this pennant, but we'll see what happens. So I actually think the first thing I better do, okay, if you lose it, like you no longer have, okay, just playing now, I see I can group text within a shape or warping a shape together. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so here we have this, and I'm going to try to make this fit right in here. So I'm going to drag that box up like that, and I'm going to drag this box down here like this and make that fit pretty well. I'm just going to use the big orange ones first. So I'm going to drag this up right like that so that tip touches. That's all I'm going to do right this moment. I'm going to drag this down. Now where is that line of my, oh, there it is. There. Okay, the E's already touching down there. Move this E. Oh dear, where's the top? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, and move the L down and that E. So you see what I'm doing? I don't know. Let's see if you can see this thing very well. So I'm going to make it black. That'll help. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to this. All right, and so this is too long. I'm going to move that up. So I'm just trying to fit it in here a little bit, just using these big orange boxes first. That S is going to be a stinker, I'm afraid. We'll see what happens. All right, so far all I've used these orange boxes, the biggest things. And I could have started with a larger triangle, absolutely. That might have made it a little bit easier, right? But let me just zoom in a little bit for you guys. Maybe it'll make it easier for you to see. And me also. All right. And again, if I click off and then click back on, I get those nodes automatically. So now I can just drag this up and make sure it's fitting nicely. And now I can go to my second hand nodes, and that would be these little red things that come off the side of the big or the squares, orange squares. Notice when I pick that up, what it's doing. It's moving that T right up there in line, how I would like it to be. And then I might want to move this down a little bit and move that. So this is just something that takes some time, but I find it kind of relaxing and fun. So I'm moving this one now, if you can see where my mouse is. Let's see if I can close and see what you guys are seeing. Yeah. So I'm moving this one down a little bit so the S doesn't come outside. Now down here, let's see what we got going on here. Again, I can use this little red dot to the left of the square underneath the T and go ahead and drag this somewhat. Or hopefully you can see there's another little nodey thing that I can grab right here, and it's blue. I can try that and move that down. And that just moves it from the inside. Notice that. So, got to move this. Whoops, lost it. Got to click off, click back on, and there it is. Move this up a little bit. So it's just trial and error. Just playing. I'm using this little red button right here. Okay, I got a mess going on up at the top, but let's continue on down here. Click off and click back on. Let's take this blue one and move it down like that. Looks pretty good. Let's see, go back to the chat in case. Uh-oh. Okay. And I'll move this down a little bit and maybe this up a little bit. So it just takes some, whoopsie, Control Z when I mess up, Control Z. Okay, so I'll move this up a little bit. So hopefully you've got something that you're trying to put in a little triangle right now, working along with me. Because I think it's better if you don't just sit, but you also try as well, if you're able to, if you have two devices opened. So again, just notice all those little dots. And if you're not sure which one to use, just play with them and see what happens when you move different ones. So I'm getting pretty good. Oh, click off, click back on, get this guy. Let's see. That like that. And let's see. Oh yeah, if you lose the warping nodes, like right there, I lost them. How do you get them back? Well, it's really easy. For a while, I kept double clicking and they'd be there and gone and double clicking. All you have to do is just click off, click back on once, and they're back. So let's see, let's take this one, move it up like that. And I'm just grabbing the blue ones now so I can move things out from the center. Getting it pretty well lined up. You can see I'm jumping back and forth. Okay, the R down here is looking pretty bad. Look at that. Wonder what I can do with that. Let's try with this red node first, see what happens. That's looking good. I like that. That worked out well. Okay. And push this down here. Okay, the top of the R is coming out, so I think I'll try this button, red button here first. Perfect. Look at that. I'm pretty excited. I think this S is going to fit. So, let's see, move him down and move this up. Perfect. Okay. Pardon me, let me get a sip of my coffee. Okay, it's looking pretty good, except for this T over here. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, click on, oh, look, I've lost them. Click off, click back on. Got them back. Gotta scroll up so I can see. I'm gonna try this. Okay, that worked pretty well. So I'm almost done to show you what this one, as much as I'm going to do for right now. So again, it's just playing with these buttons to see what you can get it to do. And I'm having trouble getting that T to do what I want it to do right now. Okay, that's pretty good. Now notice these lines are going all wavy like this. Sometimes you kind of like to keep them sort of straight. See this blue line that's going through here? You almost want to keep it straight at a nice diagonal, and that kind of keeps your letters a little bit better. And that's probably why my T is a little bit wacky right there. But if I bring that down so that's straight, then I can maybe move this to move it up. Okay, I would have to putz with this a little bit more because I'm not exactly sure how to change that T so it fits perfectly, but it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this S now so we can be done with this part. Can we save designs for scan and cut? Yeah, your scan and cut uses SVG files, right? Because I used to have a scan and cut, and I would assume that we can save these for scan and cut because scan and cut can use an SVG file. All right, there we go. So I'm just going to stop right here for now, and whoopsie, just leave it like this. All right, just to see how it is. So let's zoom out a little bit. And like I said, if I was taking this off here, and there it is, looking pretty good. Like I said, the T is looking a little bit bad. But what I could do now is I could change this to a gold color because the Steelers colors are black and gold. And if I wanted to see if I put this on a t-shirt, what it might look like. Again, it's only on this white background, but I could put a box behind it, change the box's color to black, right click and say send to the back, and there you can see what that design would look like on a black t-shirt. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to look and see what it says you can save as. Save to hard drive. Okay, you'd have to save it as a SVG because I'm pretty sure that you can also use those. I'm just about positive that you can use those in scan and cut. Okay, so there's that one, and I like doing that a lot. I would, like I said, go in and still mess with this T because it's bothering me that it's kind of curvy here. But I'm really thrilled with the way the S went in there. I'm happy as can be with that. So does anybody have any questions about this? So again, all I did was I drew out a triangle by coming over here to the line tool, draw a polygon. I could have drawn any shape I wanted to and tried to put text in there. Okay, let me delete that. Delete this. I almost want to save that because I want to make something, but I can do it again. I'll delete it. All right, let's see what else we got hidden over here. Some more sports stuff. You may not be into sports very much. I'm not really, but it just gives you some ways to try things. But I did go ahead and get a ribbon like this that we could play with. And let's see if I can show you. Need to move something out of the way so I can get to where I'm trying to get. Okay. I'm going to show you something, so hang on just a sec. Okay, I'm going to share this screen now. soon as I can find the controls. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here we go. All right, so I was looking for a banner to use for this. And what I decided to do was just go into Google and look up banner. So I clicked in banner, and I probably clicked images. It looks like I clicked images as well. But then I noticed something else down here. And look here underneath where it says images, you know, where I usually go to more and more tools. And I don't really care about how big this is because I'm not going to actually use this banner. If I was, I'd want it to be a nice image and make sure it had a lot of pixels in it or a high number. But what I did notice down here was looking across here, I saw, oh, blank banners. How about that? So let me click on that. And then all it does is brings up a ton of blank banners. So look at all these that you can grab from. I mean, there's a ton of them in here. I don't know. I can't. So I'll decide. What I decided to do when I chose mine was I made sure I chose one that wasn't a PNG image. Like, oh, look at this one though. That's really trashy. Can you see over here on the right-hand side of my screen? Look at the line of that one. That's horrible. If you can see that, it's not a very good one at all. That one's pretty, but it's a PNG because it's on the transparent background. So it would be a little harder for us to use perhaps. Let's see. Let's just, well, you know what? I already have one over there. So let's grab the one I already have. So let's go back to my silhouette. And I got to share the screen so you can follow me. Okay. And here we are back in silhouette. And this is the one that I saved. And it's not that great of an image either, but it's not too bad. But look at it, it's got the box around it. And that may or may not be an issue if you wanted to have this to print. So let's get rid of it since in case we want it. So, or if we wanted to cut it. So let's come over here to the trace tool and select the trace area and just trace. Looks like a really good trace. So I'm just going to go trace, move this out of the way, and then bring this guy in. And I'll just color the lines black so it's easy for you and me both to see. Make that line transparent. Okay, let's say I wanted to put a word in here. Birthday, I guess. I'll just put the word birthday in here. So again, what I would do, and a lot of times I do like to keep using capital letters. So I'll just type in birthday. And maybe not this font. What's another one that I've liked before? I think that androgyny. Let's see what that does. Okay. That one should be interesting since it's curved. Actually, maybe we don't want that one since it is sort of italicized. Look for another one. Okay, this is the one I used the other day. Calabria, not sure how you pronounce it. So I'll just use this one. And maybe I'll make it bold. Okay, let's see. So if we put it up here, of course you could, you know, just take this like it is if you're not particular or persnickety and just change that to whatever color you want it to be and leave it like that. But why do that when you can make it look a lot prettier? Now, as was asked before, why not just use that regular curve? And I think that that will work for this purpose. So let's see. Let's get down here to the little triangle, to the warp tool, and to this. And let's see, is there one of these that's going to fit pretty well? It looks like this one right here will fit pretty well, right? So we could start out with that. Now it's not perfectly curved like that, so we could start with this one And then if I click on it like that, I get the little nodes. Now I'm not going to have a bunch of them to mess with, but hopefully there's just enough here to be able to make this fit like this, and like that. So it's easy to just start with the pre-made part. Pretty easy. Oh. Okay, that one's pretty interesting. Made the A and the Y be pretty weird. So let's try it again, just doing it the way we just learned to do it ourselves. So I'll come over here and type in birthday again. I'm gonna make sure it's the right font, which was what? What did I use? I forgot all of a sudden.
I'm trying to think
Oh,
too.
I got it. Calabria or something. Yeah, thank you. Look at Christine. She's fast. Okay, and I'll make it bold. And now I'll just do it the little bit harder way. So I'm going to come down here again and get the warp and say warp selected shapes. And then I can put it up here. And then I have a few of these, but I think I'll have another column. So I see, Betsy, you're saying something, and there's probably many, many ways to do everything. So yeah, try whatever you like to do, whatever works best for you. Probably every time I do something, I do it differently. Okay, so that time, just warping it a little bit with these tools, trying to see what'll happen. So again, you know, you can just check and see, well, which way do you like it better? I mean, my T got a little bit crooked there. I don't know. I might like the first way better. I'm not sure, but either way, yeah, it's kind of a little bit more. Although I don't like the way this looks because it turned it into a V, so I must have done something weird there. Let's see, maybe this, yeah. Here we go. And then this box. Okay, but it's a little bit crazy. I'd have to putz with this, as you can see, and as you would need to do as well if this was yours. But you get the idea and how much fun it is to do this stuff. I wish I had saved that little thing I had from the very beginning to show you. It is fun to show you the difference between those, just those two words. I forget what I had in the beginning.
Wild.
What was it?
Wild.
Oh yeah, wild. That's right, wild. And they had it typed, and they just offset or just made that W. No, it was the L. I think it was the L that they made just a little bit crazy, and it just really made wild seem kind of wild. You felt that text. You felt the word. So anyway, there's birthday. You can stick it in there like that. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure which one I like better. They're both cool. All right, so the last thing I guess would be something like this maybe. Now, unfortunately, I don't have this font. I used to have one, or if I was working in Cricut Design Space, I think one of the access fonts is like this. I think it might be something like softball, might have the word softball in it. I'd have to go over there and check again. But I need to get another font like this one. I have one that's similar, like if I type in the word Indians. Indians, yeah. And yeah, and there's a Collegiate over there in Cricut Design Space. Okay, I'll have to look. The one that I've been using is Freshman. And I don't think that looks, it's okay. That was from DeFont. It looks similar, but something about it bothers me. I don't know. Maybe it's getting better. I don't know. But anyway, then all I would do is offset this. So I have this. Let's make this black so it looks a little bit more like the word Indians. And then what happened was it was offset. But you know what I think I need to do first? These letters are awfully close together for me to add the offsets, and it looks like they have 2 offsets. So let me change the letter or character spacing, and you do that by coming over here on the right-hand side, getting the textile panel, and I'm going to change the character spacing. I'll probably use this up arrow, maybe like that. And then I'm going to offset it. So I'm going to come to the offset panel and offset. Oops, I got to select it first and offset. Okay, that's way, way, way too big of an offset. So I would change this maybe to a 0.05 just because I can. And try that. Okay, I like that. Then I would change that offset to white. And then I would add another offset. And that one's way too big also. So I could change that one again over here to 0, oops, not comma, 0.05. Okay, and hit enter. And make that one black. Okay, but you see, I don't know. I just don't like it as well as, whoops, as well as the other one. Let me grab them all together. I don't know. Trying to make it look the same, but it's just not the same. And I don't know why I care so much, but I just like this one. So anyway.
I think it looks good too, Barbara.
No. Okay. So then the other thing you have to do is just get a football anywhere. And I actually, let's see if I still have mine over here that I got. You scroll out a minute as I move this. Nope, I guess I don't. So I'll just take this piece that I made. So what I did was I got a football and just cut it in half with the knife tool. And let me show you. Let's see. I think I got it from the library, from my library. It should be in alphabetical order. E, F.
Yeah, they had a free one in Silhouette.
Okay, so I'll just double click on that to bring that in. And there's the football with the laces. And I've got to ungroup it. Yeah, make sure you go over there because they do have free things that they give away sometimes too. The letters are a little bit fatter. You're right. I like the skinnier letters. All right. So the thing that I was going to do with this first was I went ahead and made it have no fill. And then I'm going to use the knife tool. Now remember what we learned before about the knife tool. If you're new, we can have 2 options. Here's the knife tool. 2 options up here, solid or outline. If I click solid and I draw across here, uh-oh, I didn't do that right. Control Z, hit the knife tool and solid and slice across here. What's going on? Am I having that same issue right now?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Boom.
All right, there we go. So now what happens if I call it solid, when I slice it between here, it makes a solid line in between these to make 2 solid pieces, because now I could color both of these pieces if I wanted to, right? Since they're both solid. But I'm going to hit Control Z. There's my football again. And this time I'm going to come over here to the knife tool. I'm going to come up here, and instead of clicking on solid, I'm going to click outline. And I have curve. That's part of the problem too. I just want straight. Actually, I probably would want curve, but we'll just leave it like this. So I'm going to draw a line across here. And I have auto apply on, so it's going to auto apply the knife tool action. But this time, notice what's happening. When I pull these apart, there's no bottom line. There's no solid. This is not a solid shape that I can color. But that's okay, because that's what I want. So let's come over here, bring this piece over here, and come over and scroll in. Maybe again. Okay. All right. So what I have now here is part of the football for my word Indians. And I also need to make these little black pieces because they're not here. So I just came over here to the shape tool, got the rectangle, and drew one, whatever size you like. And I noticed on the sample that I had seen was that this part up here was curved. So I could easily curve that by clicking on it double to get the nodes or the points. And I'm going to drag this one right here and make it kind of mimic the curve right here. Okay, and then I'll scroll back out. I'll change it to black. Now I'll change it to black. And rather than trying to do the same thing for the other side, all I have to do is come over here to the replicate panel on the right. It always reminds me of a cigar for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it looks like a butterfly to other people. This thing right here is the replicate panel. Click on it. And then I'm just going to come over here, no, down here, where it says mirror, replicate mirror. I'm going to replicate and mirror it to the right. Perfect. So all I need to do then is bring it over here. And now it fits there perfectly, and it matches this one perfectly. And then somewhere I had the laces, but we won't worry about them right now because we're running out of time. So what I'm going to do now is this line right here, I need to make it a lot bigger because right now it's not even going to cut. It's just at 0 point up here. If you look up here at the top, I think I made that about a 10 point. Hit 10. Make sure I have the decimal point still there, and I do. Hit enter. There we go. It's red. I don't want it to be red, so I'm going to change its color to black. And then, where is that sample so I know what I'm trying to do? Oh, there it is. All right. Let's go back in. Down here. Okay, so gotta group that. All right, now I'm going to come up here, and I guess what I'll first do is stretch it out. Now I'm going to make those letters even fatter looking, right? Yeah, make them maybe a little taller. And of course, my laces would go up in here. And it looks like on the sample that the letters went outside of the football like that. Something like that. Okay, but the thing is, they have theirs warped. Now, I can do it the way I usually do, and that's the hard way because I enjoy it. Or you could come down here and select this, come down here to the little triangle until you see your little warp tool that looks like a piece of paper that's warped. And then I can come back up here to where the ABC is and see if I find one that's warped something like this. And sure enough, looks like this one to me. How about you? Yeah, click on that. Okay. Well, there's my fat little letters. I kind of, okay, let's see now. Okay, I'm kind of bumming because, well, let's see. What can I do? Click this. Okay, that's not what I want. I think I must want this one, but that's making it awful tall. I guess I just want it like that, and then put that one up like that. Okay, so well, that looks pretty good, you know, but I sure don't like it because look at those letters. I love those letters and I hate these. And it's sort of boring looking because theirs has a little bit of a background, but and they also have the laces there, but you get the idea. I could move these down a little bit maybe. And I actually have laces here. I ungroup this that I messed with before. Actually, why don't I just put this piece in here? And you can see it looks better when it does have the other parts that go with it. And again, if I wanted to, I could see what this would look like on a shirt. maybe I will come back here and make this color. Maybe I'll make it, I got it together. Maybe I'll make this a black t-shirt. Better make it a gold t-shirt, send it to the back. And then of course the gold around this, the laces here doesn't show up, and I could change the color to that. But it gives me an idea of what this will look like on a gold t-shirt if I was, you know, putting it on that. So anyways, I just think it's fun. You know, that's a lot more interesting than if I just had text that went straight across. Again, you can manipulate it. And you know what? Since it's done this far, I wonder if I'd be able to go ahead. I don't know. What if I change this one and I say to convert it, let's see, convert this to a path. Can I do that here? No. Okay, let's see. Let me move some of this junk out. I'm just curious if I could go back ahead. Object, what happens? No, see why? Maybe I need to weld, but if I weld, I think that white part would turn black. Oh, yep, see? Undo. Object. I don't know what to do right now, you guys. I'm not sure. Object. Convert to path. That does that. I think what I should have done was when I was still in the warp, I should have said release the warp, I think. And now I think I can do this. I'm going to group all of this together. Now I'm wondering if I can further warp this. Yes, I can. Alrighty. So now I could put all my stuff back over here again. If I wanted to further warp this, I could by adding some more columns if I wanted to, and then I could further warp this thing however I would like, in case I wasn't satisfied with the way it had warped there. So I could really warp it. So I guess that's it. Let's see, what's the cup feature? Oh, wow, that's for another time, Pat, but let's look at that for just a moment. So let's.
You've got a bunch of questions above that too, if you want.
Okay, I'll check them out, thanks. So the cup feature does this. If you have a cup, all you have to do is measure the dimensions of your cup and put them in down here. Let's see, conical, okay. So, get as a rectangle. I'm gonna conical warp this thing, and that's as if I'm making a cup right here, right? So I could just change it and I would make the cup size, like you can see these little diagrams down here that shows you, okay, across the top, what's across the top? The diameter of the top. What's the diameter of the base of the cup? What's the height? And you put all that stuff in there, and then it's going to warp your text so it will fit nicely on a cup perfectly, so that the text goes straight across your cup instead of warping down. It'll stay straight. It's just something that we'll have to play with at another time. Okay, let me look up here.
Pat asked the first one. She said, does the software have basic shape? Basic
shape?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You can unmute Pat and tell her what you're talking about.
There are shapes here in the drawing tools, and then there are all these shapes here. But as far as basic shapes, you mean the exact same shapes we have from Cricut? No, it doesn't have those same basic shapes. It has these shapes.
Right, that's what I was looking for. So if I wanted to make, I don't know, I forget one in Cricut.
Well, they have the star, the heart. They have all that.
The star, the heart.
They do. The heart's there, the star is there. It's just they have different ones, and you can manipulate them. You can manipulate the shape to make it.
Okay, so it's over in the shape.
Correct.
Yeah, it'll be in the flexi shape.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Colleen had a question. Colleen, you want to unmute and talk to Patty about it? She wants to know if you can do a tutorial on a PYO cookie stencil with just black lines. Maybe she can explain. Colleen, you can unmute.
Or hold down your space bar on your computer if you're using one, and that unmutes you.
Is she gone?
Where's the cookie? I saw that question.
I don't see her. I think she may be gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you can easily thicken the lines of anything. Like if you were doing this, well, she's gone, but I can still answer. If you were doing this, and then I made it transparent and came up here and said object, oopsie, convert it to a path. Now I can make these lines like 10. I can make them however I would like, 20. So you are able to change the shape or the size of the lines. However, I believe that we discovered if you take this over to Cricut Design Space as an SVG, these lines won't show up like this. You'll have to take this over as a JPEG and then fix it into a cut file over there.
Okay, Christine has a question. She wonders if you could use an inner offset so it wasn't edge to edge, and then insert that into the banner.
You mean like when I did the triangle? Like, you mean like when I did this? And then I wanted it to not go all the way to the edge. Could I do an inner offset of this? And that's what I oftentimes do that, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, we done that on the first one.
Yeah, inner offset like that. And then I'll just make my text go to the inner offset like this when I'm manipulating it. The banner, that's the same idea. Okay, did I do that? Answer you then, I hope. Okay, great. Okay.
And Betsy says, and then you can cut a stencil to make a cookie stencil. I'm not sure.
Then you cut a stencil. Oh, yes, I think that's what you do. Yes, correct. So you would take this over there to Cricut Design Space, or use it here if you have a Cameo, and you would cut this out of like stencil material, whatever you use when you're doing your cookies, right? And then what do you guys do? Like use a spray? I don't know. I've never done it. But I think
I think they do it too when they're etching the glass. Maybe they use the stencil, and
right.
for signs they put paint on it. I'm stingy with my vinyl. Can't imagine wasting my money.
But stenciling really doesn't if you're going to use it well. Especially if you're screen printing. You can just cut it once, and then you can do a bunch of them. And I'm still trying to find a good place for us to be able to purchase the screen printing thing if you guys do want to learn how to do that, because I actually like the way the silhouette one is set up. I have a speedball one over there, but I honestly like the way the silhouette one is set up, so I'm looking to see where I can purchase that inexpensively. They do have it on Silhouette America's website, but I'm looking for a cheaper place because usually you can find it cheaper than on a Silhouette America's site.
Patty Ann, I watched a video recently where a woman took tulle netting, like a real thin netting, and she took like stencil material, vinyl, and she put that netting on it and made, she did amazing transfers from that, like a screen printing. So you can make any design you want in whatever, and you put this netting on the back of the vinyl. Maybe it was 2 pieces, I'm trying to remember now, and then put the material, and then put the screen printing whatever on it, the ink, and it was great. It worked really well.
So what did the final product look like? I don't understand what the
netting. It was like on a t-shirt if you wanted to do like a screen print, but you made your own screen print out of just vinyl and this netting.
Oh, okay. So she went like and just, it's not like, oh, I see. It's not like netting that I was thinking of. You said it's really, 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 really fine.
Right.
Yes.
Like
Okay. Right. Because that's
cool, but thin. Yeah.
right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay, I've never seen the chalk couture stuff. I've not jumped on that bandwagon. I got too many. But is that what they use? That tool-ish stuff?
Right. It was real thin like that. So it
Uh-huh.
made it like, yes, like the chalk couture type of
Okay.
stencils, but you can make anything you want, your own designs completely.
Wow, that's cool.
Johnny said you put the vinyl on the mesh.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's the same. That's the same. That's like screen printing. That's what I've done before. I had a shirt down here that I made. I think it's upstairs now because I have screen printed. I cut the vinyl out, then I put the vinyl that I cut out down on the mesh or the screen, and then you take the paint over top, and wherever the where the vinyl is, of course, no paint goes. So depending on how you've weeded it, that's what will show up on the shirt. Sheer curtain material.
Curtain material.
Wow.
That would be cheap. You can get those at the dollar store.
Wow. Sheer curtain material. And it worked, huh? That's pretty cool. How did she keep it still? Did she, because like on the silhouette one, it goes around and it gets folded in. And on my speedball one, it's like stapled onto wooden slats so it doesn't move. How did she get it to stay still? Much cheaper, the chalk. Yeah, the chalk couture is expensive. I bet it probably is. She used Scan and Cut.
Johnny said she used an embroidery frame. So you would put it in there and screw those little things in real tight and it would hold it.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. That's a great idea.
Yeah, they're relatively cheap too, those
Oh,
little frames.
yeah. I have a slew of them over there. Because remember, Tammy, the thing we liked, or that I liked about the silhouette one, is that instead of just laying, what was it? You were able to do something differently than with my speedball. Now I can't think. Anyways, I'll look into that because I think it'd be cool if we could just use embroidery hoops. Those, like Tammy said, they're pretty cheap. I got a bunch of them right over there. You can get them all over the place. But let's say they use HTC. What's HTC instead of adhesive vinyl? Oh, HTV. Oh, okay, HTV. Okay, so did they iron it on then so it would stay forever? I guess since you're using that cheap curtain material, it wouldn't matter if you ironed it on. That interesting. Look at that. Because the stuff if you buy a speedball one, you're not going to want to iron something onto it and then it be damaged, or that's all you can use it for because they're so expensive. But if you're using a shower curtain thing, that'd be cool. You can do whatever way you like, Pat. Either way will work. Oh, we got it, Chow. Use cookie people have a stencil frame. Oh. Sweet sugar bell. Interesting. Okay, what time is it? Oh, it's 11:15. So I guess we should close this out since a lot of people like to have their Saturday to themselves to go do some stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry that Zoom wasn't playing properly either. No, we could consider doing this through YouTube and just have it a hidden one that just we can come to, and you might even like the chat better there than what the chat is that we have here. It's up to you guys. Why don't you think about that and let me know if you'd rather do it through YouTube.
The only thing with YouTube is you wouldn't be able to have them talk out loud or quickly do chat. But that's fine.
The only thing they'd be able to do is type chat. Wait, what?
I said, I'll go with the flow. I'm happy for anything.
Oh, okay. Who else? Anybody else want to put in their 2 cents? What do you think? What would you rather have? This on Zoom, or would you prefer doing it just through YouTube?
This has been good up to now. This is the only time I've had a problem with it today.
Okay. It's kind of been nice, though, to be able to hear each other's voices.
Yeah, I like that too myself.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Yeah, Joni, post that for us in the Silhouette group. Y'all are members of our Silhouette group, right? On Facebook?
The Cutting Up with Patty Ann.
No, the Silhouette group.
Or the other one.
Software with Patty, yeah, Silhouette software. Our
Okay.
Silhouette Studio, is it? I think now.
Here, I know what I'll do. Y'all, I'll share my screen if you can see the Facebook group. Hang on. I'm getting smart now. Okay, let's see. Move some of these other things out of my way. Here is the Facebook group in just a moment, in case you're not sure. All right, so this is what it looks like.